Good morning. This is R.K. Pandey, and you are with me in the new chapter, that is Diversity in Living Organism, chapter 7 of class 9th biology. You have got two chapters previously before the examination of 80 marks, in which you appeared basically, and this is the new chapter for you. You should open the page number 79 basically to learn this. As far as this chapter is concerned, diversity is basically the main phenomena of any organism at which we can divide different type of organisms in this world, and simultaneously to identify them it is basically very essential to how can we classify them. For that classification, to identify them, a few criteria that is essential I would like to discuss. First of all, whether they are made of prokaryotic or eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells, that depends upon their nature and at which they can identify. Secondly, whether the cells are living cells and they are single or multiple. At the basis of unicellular or multicellular organism, we can identify that regarding this criteria. And third point, whether the cells have well developed cell wall or whether they prepare their own food or not. It is depends upon the organism to identify that they are food manufacturing by itself or dependent upon others. So in that case, we can say that all living organisms are divided in the above basis regarding the five kingdom, namely Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. First of all, Monera. As far as Monera is concerned, it is the first kingdom provided. To discuss about this, it is essential to know first of all about Charles Darwin, that Charles Darwin was the first scientist who developed his ideas with the help of his book Origin of Species in 1859 basically. And finally, after that, three scientists, biologists, they are Ernest Haeckel, secondly Robert Whittaker and Carl Woertz, who tried to classify all living organisms into different categories called kingdoms, as we have already discussed just few minutes before, that it was Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Finally, but for further classification, that is done by naming the subgroup at various level as given in the following scheme, that is phylum, class, order, family, genus and species, that is given in your book. Here you identify that is properly given. And finally, first of all, Monera. What is Monera? As far as Monera is concerned, it is well defined nucleus. It's having well defined nucleus and different organelles also found in it. It is multicellular organism having the body structure and so diversity based on the many other characteristics also. Some of them have cell wall while some do not. Sometimes cell wall is available and sometimes that is not. And mode of nutrition is what? That they synthesizing their own food or getting it from the environment. They have two criteria. First of all, whether they get their own food by itself and they take by the surrounding. So the blue-green algae is the main example. How can we say that the blue-green algae? Because blue-green algae contains the chlorophyll in its body, and finally it prepares its own food. Finally, it prepares its own food properly, so that it is called Monera. Second example is mycoplasma. You can identify here the figure of Monera with the help of your book given here. Now, the second topic is Protista. As far as Protista is concerned, it includes many kind of unicellular eukaryotic organisms. Some of them organisms are appendages such as hair-like structure, that is cilia available on its body part in the outermost portion, and secondly the flagella around it. It is autotrophic or heterotrophic. It contains autotrophic or heterotrophic both mode of process, and finally its good example is algae, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Such type of organism having prepared its own food, autotrophic, and dependent upon others are heterotrophic, So algae and protozoas. Protozoas are very well known. Example for this figure will provide you the idea regarding protozoa. Okay. Now the next point is fungi. As far as fungi is concerned, it is heterotrophic eukaryotic organism. Heterotrophic eukaryotic organism and use decaying organic materials, that means dependent upon the dead bodies of plants or animals, etc., so that it is also called saprophytes. Saprophytes they call, and they have an other name also, that is parasite. They have cell wall made of the tough complex sugar called chitin. In that case, a small word that came here, chitin, CHITIN, chitin. What is that? It is the covering of tough complex sugar around it, that is called chitin, and the best example of it is yeast, molds, and mushroom. Mushroom is the well known for you, better, but two type of mushrooms you have. One is eatable and second is poisonous. So identify it. It is the type of fungi. Figure I would like to show here. The figures are available. The three figures are available here. These are. Okay. Now the next point is Plantae. Plantae, according to the name it has given, Plantae, it is a multicellular eukaryotic structure having cell wall. Basically it is autotroph because it contains chlorophyll. Chlorophyll containing bodies are autotrophs because they prepare their own food by itself. So plants also prepare their food by itself. So they are called autotroph, and all the plants includes in this group. The next topic is Animalia. We involves in this criteria because we are social animals, and the other animals or other macro organisms are also related to this. In this type of organism, basically they are eukaryotic and heterotrophs. They contain eukaryotic cells and they are heterotrophic mode of nutrition they contain because they dependent upon others for feeding and nutrition. So that Animalia contain heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition. As far as plant A at broad level is concerned, it's divided into three parts: Thallophyta, Bryophyta, and Pteridophyta. First of all, Thallophyta. Thallophyta is very common. Is very common in the shape of algae. You know, it is very common. And how can they are? They are aquatic. They are aquatic, and its example is Spirogyra, Ulothrix, etc., etc. Second point is Bryophyta. Bryophyta relates to Bryophyllum. Bryophyta. So this is called Bryophyta. Why? Because these are amphibians by nature in the shape of plant. Why? Because they could find on the earth or in the water also, so that they call this. They have stems and leaf-like structures and a specified tissue for the conduction of water and other substance from one part to another to pull in the body. The best example of this is moss. The best example of this is moss. So, next point, Pteridophyta, that is written by the word P, P-T-E-R-I-D-O, P-H-Y-T-A, Pteridophyta. It is a plant body of differentiated into roots, stem, leaves, etc., etc. Big plant, full plant. That can be herb, that can be shrub, tree, etc., etc. But it is Pteridophyta. It conducts water with the help of root, and with the help of root, that means with the help of xylem vessels from earth to the root to the whole part of the plant body. And finally, after preparation of food with the help of the process photosynthesis, after photosynthesis, the prepared food runs with the help of phloem to all the part of plant body, and this process happens. It has this type of criteria, and reproductive organs of plants in all these trees are available basically, and plants with well defined reproductive parts that are ultimately makes seed, and they are called phanerogames. It is the other part of it which are capable to prepare its own seed. They are called phanerogame. As a result, seeds are sexually resultant to reproduce finally, and embryo during germination arrange this group in further classified. Then we come to gymnosperm. Gymnosperm, what is that? It is the word derived from Greek word gymno and sperm. Gymno means naked and sperm means seeds, naked seed, such type of having naked seeds, they are called gymnosperm. For example, pine and deodar, these are the good examples of that. And that angiosperm, Greek word, it is also, and having two division, first of all angio and then sperm. Angio, that means same, it means covering, and sperm means seed, covering seeds. Such type of having covering seeds are called angiosperms. And it is divided, angiosperm is divided into monocot and dicot at the basis of parts of the seed, having one part that is monocot and having two part that is dicot, so that monocot and dicot are available. Finally, monocots and dicots. So students, now it is enough for today, and we will meet in the next